Think of Cannes and it is the film industry that springs to mind, but the French resort has an equally prestigious history when it comes to television, as this month the biggest names in show business came out to wish happy birthday for the landmark 50th edition of the MIPTV Audiovisual Festival. The audiovisual industry refuses to stand still, and the last 50 years have indeed brought some unimaginable changes to our viewing experiences, as the celebs concurred in Cannes.
I think we're in the golden age of television and movies, wrapped in this great revolution of technology, and it's a great time for content all the way around, and it's celebrated here after a half century. It's just, it's a slice of heaven.
I'm making a film at the moment which is on celluloid. It's probably one of the last ones to be made like that. It's a shame, you know, because there's something very romantic about celluloid.
I have to say that thanks for the new technology, we did a lot of scenes, you know, quite good because the technology is there. Then, you know, and of course it's cost less money than it was, you know, making all the real in the real, you know, real life. But then it's the digital. It helps a lot.
Well, you know, it's one thing to accomplish something, but it's also a different thing to bring it into the living rooms of people around the world, you know. So we really need cameras, we need the technique, we need all the broadcasters, we need the media. I think that's the reason why I became so famous, because people from around the world have been sitting in the living rooms. Our main perspective was to strap people into a chair right on the edge, you know, so people can see what I see, and this is what happened.
The red carpet has traditionally been reserved for only the biggest names in Hollywood, but this year there is unanimous agreement of a sea change that marks a major move from the big to the small screen. And here in Cannes, the red carpet has been rolled out for the biggest stars in television.
I do feel like TV is the new film in many ways. It's where people really go and they want to find intelligent adult drama, especially, and, you know, in the comfort of their own living room.
TV is extremely important. First of all, most of it is free, and secondly, even if it's not, it's cheaper than the cinema. So, you know, when I'm looking at people like Meryl Streep, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, doing television, it's not something that minimizes the actor.
We have a show called Busted, which I created, that I'm teamed up with E1. And what's going to happen is we're going to crawl behind the scenes, backstage, where people don't usually go, to rock tours, all kinds of tours. And people are going to have stuff happen to them, all in good fun.
The biggest buzz of the show was around the project of David S. Goyer, the co-writer of the Dark Knight trilogy and the forthcoming Superman film Man of Steel, who talked to JM1 about how his upbringing in a Jewish household set him on track to be where he is today.
I started reading comic books when I was 6 years old, and as a child I collected them with my younger brother. We had about 10,000 comic books, and I always told my mother, even as a child, I was going to make a Batman movie one day, so I was fortunate she didn't throw away my comic book collection. I'm here promoting Da Vinci's Demons, which is a new television show I've created, and it sort of reimagines Leonardo da Vinci as this kind of mythic, almost superhero, heroic figure.
Is he as cool as Superman, Leonardo da Vinci?
Oh, he was cooler because he was real.
While the celebrities are what draw the crowds, the real work being done here is by content producers, buyers and movers who make connections to export quality programming around the world. Among those here giving exposure to their brand was JN1, and channel producer Peter Dickinson spoke about the work the channel was doing here in Cannes.
Being in Cannes at this event is important for JM1. Obviously, it does a lot for us as a brand to get it out there. It also will expand our network of distribution. I would hope that after this event we're going to see JM1 appearing on more and more domestic cable operators across Europe and North America. We've had interest from Africa, we've had interest from Asia, so it's been a great success. It's been extremely encouraging to get the kind of response we've had. We've had a lot of interest from different distributors and cable operators, and in general it's been a fantastic opportunity to introduce the channel to a whole new audience. Looking at the market, I don't see any major changes. I see a lot of new players entering the market. I see a lot of different news organisations appearing. We are one of them, and our mentality has always been the more the merrier. I think that people today are looking to get their news from different sources. They're looking to pick and mix and then form their own opinions, and we're very happy to be part of that process.
I represent a very little agency that works in production, and we produce movies and documentaries. We are producing in the Republic of San Marino a very big budget film about Jewish people in San Marino during the Second World War, because San Marino was a neutral state, but it is located in the middle of Gothic lane, you know, and so there are very, very interesting stories about that.
The global distribution arm of Israel's Keshet Broadcasting were also in Cannes to talk about their exports, a success typified by that of blockbuster US series Homeland, an adaptation of Keshet's own drama Prisoners of War.
If I say that we are the format behind Homeland, then that's usually the best business card you can still have. It was an Israeli project that happened through the creator Gidi Raf, who talked with our CEO Avi Nir, and the rest is really history. We understood that we started talking with people in America, and they told us that they have just the right guy for it, who made already his name in the business and was quite successful, the creator of 24, if you heard about that series. The next one we will probably have in the US on air, knock on wood, is we have a pilot commitment for Mother's Day, where Deborah Messing is now attached to it, which is one of our newest comedies. We launched it last summer with 13 episodes, and we are writing already the second season, which goes bang on trend with the new, strong, real women, and not only the mother that lives for her husband and looks after the kids, but also from a selfish perspective, but in a good and funny way. Also, at the moment, if you say that we are the home of Israeli TV, there is not much more you have to say. So Israeli has become a very hot place for formats. And I mean, I'm speaking to big companies and the biggest format buyers in the world, and they tell me that Keshet or Israeli formats are the ones who are actually exporting the most and are actually being bought the most as well.
The first 50 years of MIPTV have seen the whole landscape of television and how content is delivered change completely, and the mind boggles at what possibilities the next 50 years have in store for viewers of small screen productions. This is Paul Walsh for JN1 in Cannes.